Hello, Brother Munro here. Welcome to an extra video for you today. One of my Patreon sponsored videos, so you get an extra one at the weekend. And this one is sponsored by Treefrog, who I'm very kind to for giving me the idea for this. Although they're not really aware that they've given me the idea for this. So I wanted to... I've been wanting to do a video on the Regia Marina for a while. But once I saw that we were getting new hulls and things like that, I wanted to wait. And now, of course, because I can design the whole thing, I thought, why not do a Munro Design Yards Presents and kind of do a combined Italian fleet. And yesterday, I was watching the Drac video on the Italian Navy in World War II. And I thought, why not use the principles that the Italians used or were using, and yeah, do a slightly longer video where I talk through my kind of design process and build a fleet for the Italians to take on the French, because that is who their rival in the Mediterranean was in their minds. It wasn't so much the British until that actually happened, but their navy was more designed to take on the French. So mirror matchup. I base these numbers on the kind of French navy, although adjusted slightly. So we both have 4 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 6 lights, and 12 destroyers each. And I'm going to design all 4 of the ship classes for the Italians, and we'll see how we do. Yeah. Now, the AI is quite likely to throw something horrible at me, but I wanted to go for a minimum displacement on the modern battleship 3, 45,000 tons, which kind of fits with the Littorio class ships, which had, I believe, a full load of about 45,000 tons as well. But the Italians lied and said they were 36,000 tons. So yes, we're going to go for this hull. I think it deserves another chance now that I'm on core patch version 89. Now, in terms of crew, I think regular crew at 60 would be fine. The Italians never really got a chance to have a really well-trained crew, but they weren't terrible. Now, the requirements I have here are speed, long-range gun platform with good torpedo protection, but the sacrifice is range. One of the things the Italian Navy could do is with their short range, because Italy's in the middle of the Mediterranean. The Italians only ever imagined operating within the Mediterranean, and they kind of imagined their navy leaving port, during the night, fighting in action during the day, and then getting back to a home base, not a far-flung base, but a home port very quickly. So there was more important they could nip out, do an engagement, and come back, rather than have super long range or anything like that. So, with those principles in mind, let us have a look. So, the Light Advanced Tower 4 with that 35 base accuracy is tempting. 37 long range accuracy as well. So, I will actually go for the top end tower. It might be difficult to fit on this hull though. So a small secondary tower. So I'm not going to go for the heavy, which is actually a reversed main tower. I might go with an enhanced, but they're quite large. I think I'm actually going to go with the medium to keep my superstructure size down. And I'll go with the medium secondary tower 2. Right, in terms of smoke, if we run this on oil 3, we get 76 to play with, which means I want a funnel at about 35, which we don't have. So it's going to be this one, the compact angled funnel 1, and we'll stick 2 of those in. They look quite small, but for smoke interference I can deal with that. Now, in terms of engines, we do have access to marine diesels. I'm just curious how fast we can go on them. Still have 100% engine efficiency. Oh boy. Okay, we can go really, really, really fast on the marine diesels. Damn! 36 knots. Well, I mean, that's definitely a thing. It's certainly faster than the Littoria actually could do, which was 30. But, sure, 36 knots. My goodness. Okay. Well, you know, Munro Design yards, we do like to beat expectations. Alright, so we want the best anti-torpedo protection. I think a double bottom hull will be enough, though, rather than the triple. We don't want those bulkheads to be reinforced with anti-flooding systems. And we'll go for the all or nothing. Right, guns. Now, in this era, we could go all the way up to a 20. But, again, I'm assuming that we are kind of sticking to, you know, we're pretending to have a ship that, you know, meets treaty requirements. Now, the real ones had 15-inch guns, but they're those hideous ones. So we're actually going to go with 16s. They're also Mark 3. They're both Mark 3s, so there's no reason not to. And it would be nice to get 3 of these in, if we can. So definitely an ahistorical build. More an inspired by than anything else. And then we want a rear 1616. Now, this is going to mean bunching everything up as much as I possibly can. Still have a little bit of a full weight offset, and I have gone overweight as well, which is unfortunate, but we're getting there. We're getting there. It's quite a lot to fit in a ship this size. I kind of want to get everything set up and then reduce the speed so that we're under the weight. Actually, the other option, of course, is to go for the tall angle funnel. I just like the I do like the double funnel setup. Okay, secondary guns. Can we fit any 6-inch guns anywhere? Yeah, we could fit them down here, but I don't want to. Put 4-inch guns anywhere? Nope. 3-inch guns? Nope. Just lots of 2-inch guns, right? Yeah. So this thing is going to have a lot of AA guns. But in terms of secondaries, not so much. Which, yeah, because the Littorias had, what, 12 6-inch guns? Yeah, 12 6-inch guns. Which isn't that much. I could maybe try and shove them in the sides, but I'm not. I think we can get away with it. We'll just go with 16s and 2s. Kind of an all or nothing design. Definitely want good barbette protection. Although, let's go for just heavy. Keep an eye on my flash fire chance. Definitely not going to use cordite. Tube powders TNT 4, 0% flash fire chance. With my standard shells. We'll go with that. Let's go semi-auto loading with advanced electronic turrets. Now, the Italians famously did not have radar, so we're not going to fit that. We will fit a sonar set, and we will fit a good rangefinder. And I'm massively overweight. Now, can I get underweight by reducing the speed a little bit? because it's surprising what it'll take off. And going for the historical 30 knot speed. Yes, that helps a lot. Now, I wonder if I could get the same engine efficiency with a single tall angled funnel. I can. What about a medium angled funnel? Yes. Medium 2. Yep. Medium 1. Compact. Compact 2. Wow. Single compact 1. Not quite. And it looks a bit weird. So let's go for the compact 2. Alright, now we're only 5% overweight. Can I go down to barbette 2? I can, without going over flash fire chance. In fact, I can go down to barbette 1. But that makes me slightly uncomfortable, so I'll go for the standard barbette thickness. Yeah, that doesn't help. Maybe drop the torpedo protection a little bit. Yes, that gets us closer. Wow, no, that doesn't do very much. We go for cramped quarters. Nope, doesn't make much of a difference. I could increase the displacement a little bit. The actual Littorio had another 200 tons. By the way, if you're doing, if you're trying to recreate historical ships, you'll find that useful full load displacement. Now, in terms of armor comparison, this armor is a lot thicker than the historical Littorio, so we could maybe do something with the armor. Yeah, mid-deck at 7 is actually pretty decent. Half belt to 5. Let's go 15. 6.5. I know I'm increasing some of it. You know what? Aft, belt and deck, I think, is this section here, the lower section. So you really don't need that particularly well armoured because there's nothing in it. Yeah, now we're getting closer to being able to fit. We're only a few hundred tons off. Yeah, aft deck armour is expensive. We don't really need it. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Okay, that'll do for the battleship. The Carlo Alberto. A not quite a Littorio, because it's got 16-inch guns, not 15s, but otherwise a similar kind of design philosophy. But the Munro Yards version, which has arguably slightly less protection, although it's still pretty well protected compared to the actual one, which only had an 11-inch main belt and only 6-inch deck armour. So it's actually more armoured, same speed, heavier guns. So I've compromised on something, I just don't know what. The fact that it has a 6.2% full weight offset, but there's really not very much I can do about that. I've tucked everything in as much as I possibly can. Okay, let's move on to the heavy cruiser. Now this one I'm not going to base on anything particularly historical. Just going to have a look, see which one we can go for. Now, I do have access to this, the Heavy Cruiser 6. Or I could use the 5. The 4 is my favourite of these hulls because it just looks so good. Tell you what, let's go for the 5. Let's go for the 5. And again, let's go for the smaller version of it. So, yeah, 15,000 ton heavy cruiser, that's pushing it to say that it's under the treaty limits, but we'll go for it. Towers, oh, they're much of a muchness. Let's go for the modern tower 1. Secondary tower, might as well go for the most expensive one. There we go. Alright, now I want this thing to be able to do at least 30 knots so that we can match the battleship. Main guns. Let's go with 8. I could go with 8 or I could go with 6s. Mind you, it wouldn't technically be a heavy cruiser if I went with that. So let's go with the 8s. It's going to look very similar if I do that. I'd actually prefer that down here. There we go. So that's a decent fire arc. Secondary guns, can I get 5-inch guns in? Ooh, oh yes. Okay, so a bunch of 5-inch guns. That'll give us a lot of extra firepower. 2-inch guns as well, maybe. Yeah, just a couple for a bit of added AA. But if they were, those were 5-inch dual-purpose guns, that'd be pretty mean. Again, I'm not sure about this. I think this might be in the aft belt by putting the gun down here. But I don't think there's anything in the forward section, which I think is this grey area here. Not entirely sure. I would love it if the devs added like a visual thing. So if you, when you hovered over these, it would kind of highlight where the armor was. That would be really, really nice. Okay. Now, if we're running diesels, we kind of want to stick with diesels for everybody. So we have 38 smoke to play with, in theory. Really? Interesting. Might as well go for a big funnel. Actually, will a thick funnel 1 work? No. Big funnel it is. It's not quite 100% engine efficiency, but we could go slow down to 30 knots. We can actually get a bit more. 30.7. What about 31.2? Yep, that works. Can live with that. Again, keep the range nice and low. And again, we'll go with a 60 regular crew. Exactly the same engine setup. These should be pretty good turning wise. I'm not going to put torpedoes on them, I don't think. I want these ships more to act as a screen for the battleships. Prevent any small ships getting too close. Again, we'll go with an anti-torpedo 4 and a double bottom hull. Now, in terms of the flash fire chance, what are we at? 1% at the moment. Well, I'm going to go with 2 powder TNT. Yeah, TNT 4. That should give us plenty of punch against enemy heavy cruisers. 0% flash fire chance. Okay. So I don't need a barbette thickness, but it might be worth it for that ammo detonation chance reduction. Semi-auto loaders and advanced hydraulic turrets, standard shells again. Although, yeah, standard shells should be fine. Now, again, no radar, which is a bit of a handicap. But when we put an RDF on these ones, they did have good intercepts, the Italians, so maybe an RDF set on the heavy cruiser will help. Still got plenty of displacement left. Let's go for many bulkheads. In terms of armour, let's go for 9-inch on the main belt. 4 and 4. Just rounding these values off. I'd like a little bit more on the turrets. Really don't want the turrets exploding. That'll do. Still got 97%. Yeah, let's go maximum bulkheads. Let's make these things really, really quite tanky. And just a little bit more on that aft belt and aft deck. Because I am slightly concerned that X turret is vulnerable. But that'll do for the heavy cruiser. Let's go for the light cruiser next. Now we've got the modern light cruiser 2, modern light cruiser 1, or the compact. Now the moderns look like destroyers, so I'm actually going to go for the modern light cruiser 1. Let's go for a 10,000 ton one. Now then, set this to 60, same as everything else. Oil, diesels, turbos. Exact same propellant setup as all the other ships. Now, I only get one choice of tower. Go for the cheaper rear tower. Now these things, I'm hoping, yeah, 6-inch guns. So this will be my source of 6-inch firepower. Again, trying to keep things contained so that it's behind the main belt as much as possible and main deck as much as possible. Unfortunately, the game does not want me to fit those. Oh well, we can have some 4-inch guns as backup. Funnel capacity, yeah, single one of those. Means I can get another 4-inch gun in. And I do want some torpedo launchers on these, say... Wow, that has a terrible firing arc. Maybe not having torpedoes on these then. So, additional picket ships. Tell you what about underwaters? Yeah, these things can have a pretty nasty side shot. But let's give them a whole bunch of underwaters. That's a mean little surprise. Okay. Now then, again, let's reinforce the bulkheads and give them good anti-flooding systems. In terms of guns, again, I'm going to go tube powder TNT 4, so we have commonality across all the ships. Flash fire chance is 0. That is fine. Again, coincidence rangefinder. Not going to bother with an RDF on these. Let's have 22-inch electric torpedoes. Why not? Semi-auto, advanced hydraulics. Yeah, that's fine. Maximum bulkheads. And as much armour as we can get away with. Well, really? 9 inches of armour on the guns. Well, that's pretty nice. Damn. I thought it was 6-inch max on cruisers. Oh, it is. Let's get all the belt armour right up to the top end. Let's go for a 2-inch deck. 2-inch on the superstructure. Okay, and then just crank up the mid deck until we hit the limit. 5.5 inch on the mid deck. I don't think I can increase anything else. Nope. That's a pretty chunky light cruiser. Should do nicely. Again, nice little picket ship. Can cause a bit of a wait a minute with those underwater torps. Alright, and lastly, the destroyer. Now, I've got the hybrid. It's a very strange ship. But I'm going to go for the modern destroyer standards. 2,000 tons seems about right to me. Again, let's go for 60 on the crew. Oil, diesels, turbos. Right. Only one choice tower. Just a big funnel. Now 42 knots is silly. Oh yeah, how fast were the light cruisers? Don't think I actually adjusted that. Yeah, they were going at 33.5, but that's not at 71. That's 71% engine efficiency. So I might actually take a 4-inch gun off. Give them 2 thick funnel ones. It does lower their accuracy a bit. But it does give me 100% engine efficiency. Oh, it also fucks with my weight. Never mind. These things are going to have to go a bit slower. There we go. 31 exactly. So they're only a little bit faster than the heavy cruisers. But that does mean I can bring other stuff like a triple bottom hull. Barbette 4. RDF? Nope. They could have an advanced radio though. There you go. Yeah, that'll do. Any more armour? Probably not. Oh yeah, they can. Damn. Okay, back to the destroyer. 80.3. Call it 36 knots. Again, should be plenty for a destroyer. Want at least standard bulkheads. Now guns, we can go 5s or 4s. Okay, what about how's the super firing situation? If we go 5s, yeah, it doesn't fit on there, does it? So I'd have to go with one of these. Oh, they do super fire. Okay, now we already have quite a lot of 5-inch and 6-inch firepower, so these things are probably going to be more designed for being a bit of a torpedo picket. Over a quintuple launcher on the back. Still there's a decent amount of firepower. 2-inch guns in there anywhere. Pretty straightforward, but, you know, should do the job. Now, we have electrics on the light cruisers. Let's go for oxygens on the destroyers. And let's go for 22 inches. Actually, no, I should probably have a unified torpedo propellant type, so that, you know, we've got interoperability throughout the fleet. Alright, flash fire chance is still 0, that's very nice. By the way, I'm just trying out balanced rudders today, because I thought, why not? 96%. That's not bad. A little bit of an half weight offset, though. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Can increase bulkheads. Many will do. About armor. Actually, there's quite a lot of armor on this thing. Let's go with it. I need to see now. I normally go with unarmored destroyers, but you know, we could go with a destroyer that has, you know, at least a pretense of armor, so that the poor old sailors don't feel like they're in a tin can that's bobbing about. There we go. So, all 4 classes of ship designed for this fleet battle. So we have our battleships, kind of our main punching unit. We have plenty of screening ships and both types of cruisers. And then we also have the destroyers, which, again, standoff / screening type ships for the battleships. Right, let's launch. Let's see what the French come up with. I wonder what the French do come up with. Hopefully nothing too enormous. If they come with 20-inch guns or something, it's going to be a bit tricky. Still takes a while, even on version 89, to design the ships. They obviously haven't been able to optimize that yet. I do wonder if we're going to get another hotfix version 90 before we see core patch 1 in full, because there's definitely some optimizations and stuff. 88 and 89 seem to be, you know, fixing the bugs as quickly as we could, and fixing bugs that we introduced when we were fixing other bugs kind of patches. I'm just wondering if, you know, they can spend a bit of time optimizing the game and the building process, because it definitely gets longer every time they introduce a new patch, and then they're able to optimize it back. But you can see for yourself what the AI is doing, by the way, in this process. If you pick a hull and you press auto design, so it built the cruisers very quickly, but it took a while with the battleship, probably because there's quite a few hulls to pick from, so it has to pick a hull, and then it has to kind of put all the bits on. Getting all the divisions ready. Okay, good. That's interesting. So that's a French Nelson style ship with 3 turrets on the front. Okay, the rest of the designs all look fairly standard. Right, let's very quickly pause. Oh, look at that. It does look good. It does look good. I thought I should give the Italians another chance. Now that there's no turret overpen for 0.1 damage and then your entire ship explodes, bud. Yeah, let's try these. Let's try these bad boys out. Right, let's get the fleet organised. So let's put the battleships into the main battle line. The cruisers, all of them, I'm going to put into a big screening force, and the destroyers I'm going to put into one big division, and we're going to put them on scout. So screen battleships and scout. Right, normal formation, and they're on type. Okay, now that will cause some issues as everyone forms up on the Fama Volante. And we've got the Abadanza, the Littorio, nice, and the Carlo Alberto. Right, let's have a quick look at our cruisers. They do look nice. Will say so myself. But it's interesting to try out these bigger fleet battles when you've actually been able to, design all the ships yourself. You don't have a random rubbish class. I'm going to leave everyone on standard, fire your torpedoes whenever you like. Because I reckon it's going to take them a while to sort themselves out. Gonna wait for the enemy to come to us a little bit. See that behaviour there, those two battleships, that is a bit weird. Alright, I think we kind of have things sorted out. So we've got the cruisers in a screening formation, and we do have the destroyers out as a picket line covering us from the enemy fleet. That's good. Let's try a little bit of a course change, because the enemy smoke is to the northwest. In fact, we see shells coming in. Yeah, weirdly, it's the cruisers that are finding this difficult, and they keep interfering, like the Tripoli. I don't know why it's crossing across the main line. What I would love, because Stealth was talking about this in one of his videos, is if the game could rather than each individual ship behaving individually, when you put them in a division, it should treat the division as its own thing. Ooh, got a hit. 15-inch guns. Okay, good. The enemy is not mucking about with nonsense. Like, why is the San Giorgio sitting there and being really awkward? It doesn't make much sense. Now, of course, because they have radar, we are struggling a bit. So we're going to have to get up in their face. One thing I could do is I could order the destroyers to go in that direction. high explosive shells coming out. Interesting. Can I really screw? Go to abreast formation. See again? Like there doesn't seem to be an idea for the AI to kind of. Wow, 3 quads up front. Quad 15s? Yeah. Okay. Interesting matchup. 9 16s versus 12 15s. Just gonna get ahead. Really screwing up the destroyers. It's just a big ball of nonsense. At least we have a visual. Scored a couple of hits, I think. Oh my! Some big hits. I think that was a cruiser or something in there. Yeah, we hit some of the lighter ships. Can't be bothered microing the destroyers anymore. They've done their job. They've spotted the enemy. Ooh, another big hit. Something sinks. I think we must be hitting destroyers or cruisers or something in there. Probably a destroyer. Destroyers being an absolute nonsense. I want a scream command rather than a scout. Couple of hits. Ooh, a little bit of damage. Very nice. French not really using their ships the way you'd expect them to, with that very heavy. Mind you, only 2 of them can fire directly forwards, so it's not too bad. Now, what do we spot it here? Heavy cruiser? Maybe. Could be a light cruiser as well. That's a lot of guns on those things. Big hits. Is that a destroyer making a run? Sunk anyway. We have an ID. Oh, and we have torpedoes in the water. That's less than ideal. Able to make a torpedo run successfully then. We have the Bellicers, Cordite and TNT, maximum bulkheads 166 million against our 200, so same kind of ballpark, slightly faster. Wow, okay. Lots and lots of secondaries, even some torpedo launchers. Wow, they're a lot bigger though. At 60,000 tons compared to our pretty small 45. And the destroyer sunk, I think. trying to just avoid those torpedoes as best I can that were fired at us. Don't think any of my ships have fired back. Oh no, we have. The destroyers have put a couple of torpedoes in the water. Oh, they're allowed to do that. And there's a pile up. Jeez. If they'd actually fire the torpedoes there, I'd be screwed. Yeah, the destroyers, because of their radar, or lack of, are able to get in and launch torpedoes at an uncomfortably close distance, even if they don't last very long, which is a bit annoying. Again, you could argue that's because the screens are not doing their job. They're not far enough out, but I don't think it's too bad. Is that a cruiser? It is a cruiser. Well, it was a cruiser. So those torpedo attacks, whilst they are annoying, are not doing all the French would hope. Yeah, 6-inch armed heavy cruiser. Lots of 6-inch guns. Interesting. My own heavy cruisers are doing their best to shoo the enemy away. Destroyer at the back, I think. Taking a lot of fire. Yeah, destroyer. Firing torpedoes again. In a kind of awkward way, but I can't be bothered microing that much. Amount of absolute. Yeah, they are sneaking in for a shot, but they are getting sunk as they do that. If there are torpedo forces behind me, hopefully, and that's not the best angle to fire torpedoes at. Republic taking a little bit of damage, not much. Fama Volante is the lead ship that's taken the most damage on our side. Their accuracy like? Oh, they got green crews, so it's not very good. About 5.8 on their 15-inch guns compared to 12 for us with the 16s. Something else sinks. Not even sure where. There's one of these ships back here. Yeah, if we can leave those behind. Oh, torpedo hit. That didn't do much damage though. That's good to know. We've actually scored a couple of torpedo hits in return, which is quite funny. Oh, destroyer takes a 15-inch shell. That ain't gonna help. Right, you detach, and oh, you've all gone on to individual screen orders. That's not what I meant. Goodness me. Not what I meant you to do at all. Right, battleships. Can we focus on, the enemy battleships and not wasting our time firing at other things, please? More torpedoes. Huge amounts of shells going in between now, including the odd torpedo launch from the light cruisers. Okay, now those are sneaky torps, so you never know, they might blunder into something. Certainly plenty of fire going out. The Colbert here taking a few 16-inch shells. What torpedoes are they using? 18-inch standards, and on these 18-inch standards. Yeah, so they're not the scariest of torpedoes. We sink a heavy cruiser due to a torpedo hit. Nice. Yeah, those electrics actually hitting something. It's pretty amazing. Oh, we're about to lose a destroyer. In terms of damage, yeah, vast majority has been done by those 16-inch guns. Quite a lot by torpedo, actually. 8-inch guns have been a disappointment. Really haven't done very much. It's pretty long range for an 8-inch gun, though. Another destroyer goes down. Down to 9 destroyers now. As always, being a destroyer in the Monrovian Navy, not the best job. Republic, though, we have done a fair bit of damage, actually. Now, the AI is up to something. The Republic and Magenta are dodging. Maybe there's torpedoes in the water. But they're going all over the place. Let's fire on the Invincible for a bit then. As huge amounts of shells go into this little destroyer here, the Protect. hits on the Invincible. Good, good. Destroyer goes down. Light cruiser out of torpedoes. Interesting. Oh, couple of hits there on the Invincible. And an engine. No, rudder out of action. What's their armour like? It's okay. More hits, some flooding. That's good. More hits. Yeah, really punishing them now. Starting to run low on shells though, which is kind of typical. We've been fighting for over an hour. How are they on shells? They've got lots, which is interesting. Ah, that's a standard reloading. It's all taking a bit of hammering though. For sure. Get just a little bit more. Get some engines out or something. Might be able to take her out with torpedoes. More go through the armour. Flooding. Gonna have to break her apart, aren't we? Oh, there we go. Engines down. Just turning. Yeah, angle's a bit bad. Getting a few ricochets. Another pen. Come on, another good pen will do her in. Oh. .4. There we go. Battleship down. Good. Now then, don't waste your firepower at a heavy cruiser. Two hits, 3 hits on the Magenta, and a torpedo. Although I don't think that was our torpedo, was it? No, it was a destroyer. Their own destroyer just hit the Magenta with a torpedo. It's a good hit. So far, just destroyers being lost, which is good. Very low on shells, though. Just trying to cause some lasting damage, if we can, on the enemy battleships. Engines, rudders, that kind of thing. Bellicers and Republic are already pretty damaged, so I'm kind of hoping that the cruisers might be able to finish them off, if they still have torpedoes, of course. direct torpedo fire a little bit. Magenta though is taking damage. Slowly grinding it down. Starting to turn away. Tell you what, I'm gonna get my light ships to come off screen, come in on an attack run a bit more. More hits on Magenta, but no kills. Oh, taking a few torpedo hits, it's not so good. Right, Carlo is out. Yeah, all the battleships are out of ammunition. You can withdraw. It's going to be down to the light forces to make something happen. Primarily the cruisers, I think. Use the heavy cruisers to take out the lighter ships, and then use the light cruisers, which I still have a few of, to torpedo. Destroyers are all over the place, but they're still around. They do have anti-tool, right? Yeah, they do. Perfect. I know pushing right in like that might seem a bit crazy, but I think we can justify it as cover for our battleships making a retreat. Where's the first light cruiser? Here. Kill the light cruiser. Oh dear. Turn. But even if he does get hit, which he probably will, wrecking their destroyers is useful. Again, I accidentally just destroyed the entire division, which is not what I meant to do. That is what I meant to do. Try and line up a shot against the battleship. Oh, Trento! I mean, bonus points for initiative. Not what I meant you to do. But okay. Now, destroyer coming in. No torpedoes, of course. Alright, got some torpedoes away against the magenta. And against the bellicers. See if we can get some more torpedoes at him. Dodging those ones. Lovely. Oh, that was harsh. Gotcha though. Bellicers taking a bunch of hits. Also got some torpedoes still coming out from the sinking Taranto. Triple, do you have torps? You do. Yeah, you do. San Giorgio, you're in the way. God damn it. Absolute mess. Okay, heavy cruiser goes down. Bellicers going to take another torpedo. Lovely. At least I'm causing them some issues. Poor old French. I thought it was over. Down goes the magenta. Oh, I think I'm going to lose the Andrea Doria there. Giorgio, get out. Fiume, get out. Trento, get out. Doria's already on a retreat. Oh, torpedo. Good, 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 good. Can sink all the enemy battleships. I will definitely consider this a victory. Another hit on the Bellicus. Side torps out. And the other side, if I can manage it. Yeah. And another one coming out, more coming out from the Pompo Magno. That's a lot of torpedo hits. Fiume goes down. Damn. Right, how's the Republic getting on? It just fired a whole bunch of torpedoes in it. It's pretty hard to move that ship. Giovanni has fired. Good, good, good. Oh, Bellicus. Been shot a lot by torpedoes. Nope. Firing its own. Rude. Sunk. Good stuff. Right. Again, don't know why my destroyers are they all just really badly hurt? No, I've got two that are fine. They're sitting way, way back there. How's the Republic doing? Not well. Just got smacked by a whole bunch of torpedoes. There's another one coming in as well. Sunk. Lovely. Right. All units. Retreat. Okay, should be able to withdraw from that with minimal issues, I hope. Still a destroyer coming in. Don't know where Trento's retreating to. France, apparently. Oh my goodness. Anyway. I think that was a pretty conclusive victory. I'm not quite sure what the French have left. Still have the Arrogante heavy cruiser. In terms of losses for us, not a lot. No battleships. They lost all of theirs. I still have still got two of my heavy cruisers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the lights. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the destroyers, which I don't think is bad at all. And the battleships are actually in pretty good nick. The Fama Volante is probably the least has been hit the most, but you know, not too much in the way of actual damage, and no critical damage. And the Carlo Alberto at the front here taking some damage to the steering, but is otherwise fine. So I definitely count that as a victory for the Italians, and I think proved the success of the fleet. The battleships did really, really well. I think the most disappointing were actually the heavy cruisers. 8-inch guns just not really coming into their own too much, although they did better at the end. Not really able to take out the enemy heavy cruisers particularly effectively. I think the light cruisers did a bit better. 6-inch guns did a lot of damage. The torpedoes did massive amounts of damage, particularly towards the end there, where Alerik was able to kind of get in amongst the damaged enemy battleships. Anyway, destroyers, you could argue, didn't do particularly great, but they did do their job of being fairly cheap. Well, say fairly cheap. 21 million's not that cheap. Yeah, I think stars of the show, definitely the battleships and the light cruisers. I think the other ships maybe could do with a bit of tweaking. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.